I'm Midnight Agent Raw.
And I'm Okame.
We are the Super Media Bros podcast, and we are founding members of the OddPods Media Network.
Hi, I'm Sam.
I'm Richie.
And I'm Little Matt.
And here at the 500 Section Lounge, we have a few requirements.
First, you've got to be able to talk about anything at all.
Secondly, you need to be able to laugh, play games, and talk to some very interesting people.
From sports radio personalities to reality television contest finalists and everything in between, we talk to them all.
Yeah, it's all right here in the lounge.
So be on the lookout for what we do next.
And always be there to
grab a listen.
This episode of the Super Media Bros podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. Is trimming your bush similar to reenacting a horror flick?
It's Friday, midnight, circa 1986. Sudden itch in your shorts wake you up. Your bush has come out of control. What do? You look up and you look at the bathroom and hoping to trim it down just a little bit. A red, ominous glow comes from the bathroom, inviting you in. But you remember last Christmas, the trimmer you got from your aunt. She saw your bush floundering out of your shorts. You walk closer and the heartbeat in your chest gets louder and louder. The blades, they are rusty. The battery is almost dead. But somehow you must tame the mane.
Don't find yourself in a situation like Billy from back in 1986.
My name's not Billy.
That's not important. What is important is that Manscaped has created the best ball hair trimmer ever. Get your situation situated with the new Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0. This third generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin safe technology. It also comes with an LED light for a more precise shave and is waterproof to make your shower shave clean and easy.
The Lawnmower 3.0 comes inside their brand new Perfect Package 3.0, which comes with everything you need to keep trimmed, cut-free, and smelling nice down there.
Inside the Perfect Package 3.0, you'll find the Crop Preserver, an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. You already put deodorant on your armpits. Why are you not putting deodorant on the smelliest part of your body? And yes, your balls stink.
Speaking of sweaty and stinky balls, I am thankful for their Crop Reviver. This product, along with the Crop Preserver, keeps your balls from sweating, smelling, and sticking.
Manscaped is going to throw in 2 free gifts into their Perfect Package. A pair of high-performance Manscaped boxer briefs that'll keep your cash and prizes feeling fresh all day.
Behind door number 2.
A travel shed bag to store all your grooming goodies. Trim that dilapidated junk of yours. And go to manscaped.com and use our code SUPERMEDIA20 to get 20% off with free shipping. Be the hero your balls deserve.
Because they'll definitely thank you for it.
Get 20% off and free shipping with our code SUPERMEDIA20 at manscaped.com. Again, that's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com with our code SUPERMEDIA20.
Don't use the same trimmer on your face and your balls. That's just nasty.
That's a horror movie all on its own. If you're happy and you know it, clap your... Oh.
A bidet a day keeps the proctologist away.
Sweating bullets.
All that and more.
Cue the industrial metal.
Super Media Bros.
Was my impersonation of a Trent Reznor song.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It was not bad at all. Bullets and body hammers, oh my.
Body bullets.
I don't know why I thought about Body by Jake, whatever the fuck.
Body by Jake from State Farm.
Welcome to episode 170 of the Super Media Bros podcast. I'm Midnight Agent Raw.
And I'm Okame.
Cult Cinema Showdown 72. Now, last year we talked about Tetsuo the Iron Man versus Electric Dragon 80,000 volts, which was a lot of fun. But now it's which of these sequels was a worthy follow-up to Tetsuo the Iron Man. Because it's not necessarily linear sequels, it's more or less standalone, similar concepts, and holy shit, a lot of body horror.
And yes, I know what y'all are thinking still after all this time. I still cannot pronounce the title right. Because I keep looking at Richie every time like we start these films, and I'm like, give me a second. Tetsuo.
Got him.
Because that was the biggest fucking frustration. And I can tell from his face every time I say it, he looked at me, he's like, no, that's not right.
I shot him with mine bullets.
I'm like, shit. You think I would know this by now? But I'm still like, ugh. Also, I just noticed we're wearing the same.
Yeah, we're wearing the same goddamn t-shirt. Yeah, Manscaped. We have t-shirts from them. So let's, go ahead and plug that again.
It just like didn't even dawn on him until I looked at your chest for some reason. I was like, oh, titty. Manscaped.
That's me.
Yo, titty's Manscaped.
Tetsuo. That's me.
Body Slammer.
That's right. Tetsuo Body Slammer. That is a good wrestling name.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's get into it. So Tetsuo II Body Hammer is a 1992 cyberpunk body horror film. Same director, Shinya Tsukamoto, who did the original Tetsuo the Iron Man. This one had a little bit of a bigger budget. There are similar themes and ideas. It's a Japanese salaryman, and it's the same guy that played the salaryman from the first one, finding his body transforming into a weapon through sheer rage after his son is kidnapped by a gang of violent thugs. And Shinya Tsukamoto also reprises his role as the metal fetishist. This movie is a little different though, because I know when we were watching it, we were talking about how the first one is shot in black and white, 16 millimeter, and is really jarring in a good way, because it fits the whole attitude of the film. This one's a little longer, shot on 35 millimeter. There's some blue and red washes over specific scenes.
Yeah, they got filters at certain aspects.
It does lend itself, though. I noticed the camera work is a little dreamlike in certain stages of the film, where it's a little floaty whenever you're introduced to the family and other scenes like that. But the movie starts out with this dude in some kind of like tunnel under a bridge. He gets shot by the metal fetishist, but it's a bullet that just comes out of his finger. So now you already know what you're getting into with this shit.
It's like some Yu Yu Hakusho shit. Spirit gun.
Right in his face.
And it's not.
But the story like kind of kicks into high gear really quick. You get introduced to the salaryman, his wife, and their kid, and then they go to a mall. The child is kidnapped by a group of people, and then they give chase to the rooftop. The salaryman actually almost gets thrown off of the roof, and then his wife catches him, and it's kind of funny because it looks like she's cussing him. Mm-hmm. She's like, "You weak bastard."
Yeah, that's pretty much like the consensus I got from this chick. She's just like running up the stairs. Because like when he got shot in the chest with some contraption, basically, whenever the kid got kidnapped.
I forgot about that. Yeah, it was like some kind of injection gun.
And he was running up the stairs, the flight of stairs, and she was literally like 3 flights up, and he was just like, kid, and I could just sense the disappointment in in her fucking husband the whole entire time. I'm up here, you're down there, your kid's in danger, and you still can't keep up with me, you fat fuck. And he's not even fat.
No, he's not.
He's just out of shape. He's got dad bod or something.
It's actually kind of funny because at one point he is in the movie, he tries to lift weights. Like he tries to get stronger.
But that's further along. But yeah, catches him falling off the damn roof, and she's just like, man, I saved your ass again.
Yeah, and then they look over and their son is okay. They just left him there.
Yeah.
It's like they were just fucking with him.
It's like, prank.
This movie also has some visual cues that are, I would say, in line with what this franchise gets into later, but in its own way. Like the weird like swimming pool and the fire visuals this guy has. Or we were laughing at it because we were just like, oh, is this like after a night of Taco Bell? Because you just hear, and the fire happens. He's like, oh, my butthole's on fire.
Yeah. And it was like those superimposed fire explosions because like they had the face just kind of like, and just fire.
It's like when you breathe.
It was like that kind of like meme-worthy edit, but at the same time, it wasn't.
Right. So they cut to the salaryman trying to lift weights, and he can't. But the way his wife and son are watching him, they're just like, like he can't fucking lift, and they're just dead-eyeing him.
You a failure.
Yeah. They're just dead-eyeing him. Yeah. But he only does so after he remembers the kidnapping, and he's just like, And I was thinking, he probably doesn't have any weights on this thing.
Yeah. He's just lifting the bar.
he's setting the bar
Yeah.
pretty fucking low.
Yeah. That's what the wife did. She set the bar low.
She doesn't play with his bar either. No. So later he gets this phone call asking how the training went. He's like, wait, what the fuck? And they break into their house and take the kid.
Again.
Yeah, but here's the funny part. He goes outside the house and he's looking for Minori, the kid's name. I think that's the kid's name, Minori. He's like, Minori! And the kid's like, hi! Like, he doesn't say it, but he's in the thieves' arms and he's just smiling and waving at his dad like, hi, I'm leaving now. And they just run off with him.
It's like fucking cops and robbers to him. We play a game.
Dude, they fucking hauled ass with him though. And so if y'all are wondering why the fuck we were trying to sing If You're Happy and You Know It at the beginning of this episode.
This is where, oh my God.
Yeah, so they go back to the rooftop again, both of the parents. And this dude is holding this child by his hands and his arms, like his wrists.
It's Billy saying,
I have a child. I have a child.
In Japanese.
I don't even know how to say it in Japanese, but just picture it.
Yeah.
Japan, 1992. I have a child.
Mm-hmm.
So he taunts the salaryman to the point where he manifests this gun arm in an rage-filled moment. He tries to shoot this guy, but instead of shooting the guy, he literally explodes his fucking kid. There's guts and blood everywhere. And the dude is just holding on to what's left of this kid, which are his fucking hands. And he just like, ah, and runs away with them.
This is literally how you say it.
私には子供がいます.
There you go.
Reminds me of that damn Star Wars edit with episode 3 with the
If this dude wasn't getting laid before, he's definitely not getting laid now.
He was expecting a hand job.
Yeah, he was.
He's definitely happy and he knows it.
Well, he doesn't know it anymore. He can't think for himself. His brains are everywhere.
I am machine. Oh, wait.
Oh, fuck.
I was thinking about the dad. I was just like, he's definitely not happy and he knows it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, at the Battle of the Tough Guys Japanese edition, because Brel can't fucking make his mind up if he wants to do it in No Holds Barred or in Tetsuo Body Hammer. It's a shitload of skinheads that are part of this metal cult. Not the music, but
the physical element.
The fetishist cult. I would just call it that. I don't think that's exactly what it is, but still, it's a bunch of gang members. The villains, there's these two guys, the two guys that fucked with the kid earlier. They report to their boss, which is the metal fetishist, that they have picked somebody. And they bring the salaryman in and they hook him up to all this like wiring and this helmet shit. They're sitting there and the salaryman is like in some kind of like dream state. And the metal fetishist is like, pick a nice memory. What? So it's like a memory of his kid and him all happy and shit. And then the next thing we know, shit just goes to hell. At one point, this fucker has some clanky ass MC Hammer looking pants.
Yeah.
And everybody's watching as the salaryman produces like this gun that just like kind of alien chest bursts out of him slowly. It's just like a fucking cannon out of his chest.
But also he kind of like yanks himself out of the Matrix himself at this point. Cause when he's all hooked up, like he just,
it does look like the Matrix.
Like he is the one.
Right.
And all you hear is fucking rage and like ding, ding, ding.
But it's revealed that this is like some giant like experiment pretty much. Because there's like this scientist that's working for the metal fetishist who is named Yatsu. Now keep in mind, that name is important. It's not just the metal fetishist. His name is Yatsu.
Shiatsu.
Yeah. After ordering Taniguchi's death, who is the salaryman, he basically tells the scientist that his only goal is destruction and that he wants every gang member to have an injection. But at some point, all the gang members are rusting after a hot minute. And there's something called the will to kill that is important to this experiment, like with each injection. Somebody may not have it, somebody may have it, others may be stronger than others. Their will is higher.
Right.
And you find out at one point, I know we're kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but at one point you find out that when Taniguchi was shot, his pocket protector actually stopped the injection. So he already had the power to transform. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, like his BlackBerry saved the day.
No shit. That's exactly what it looked like too.
I was going to say either that or should have put a Nokia phone in there.
Yeah, no shit.
Because those things cannot last anything.
They really do. But what happens is like Taniguchi escapes, okay? and this other gang member injects himself, and he transforms like real quick because his will to kill is much greater. Well, he fucking kills the guy, but before he dies, Taniguchi is looking at him, and the guy says that they all want to be made into gods by Yatsu because they consider Yatsu to be like the god of gods. And this is when Kana, his wife, discovered the whole pocket organizer bit or whatever. And she's like freaked the fuck out, which I would be too at this point. But she fucking leaves only just to get kidnapped.
The whole organization of this movie is just kidnapping people.
That's all they want.
It's like Never Neverland.
It's this scene though that we were just like, wait, what the fuck? Because Taniguchi jumps on a bicycle and chases them. They're in a car and he's just chasing the fuck out of it. And this is where that speed editing comes into play. Because at some point he's just like riding on the side of a building and then he just jumps off and kind of parkours and he jumps onto the car, and the face that he makes when he's looking in the window and he's about to shoot the guy because his body's all fucked up and morphed at this point.
So what was cool is I think they destroyed the bike, but then his body just like you said, flung onto the side of the building and Spider-Man his ass.
He did, dude. It was funny as fuck.
And then he just like William Dafoe faced that fucking dude in the windshield. Just,
dude, it reminded me of it reminds me of the music video, and I want to say it's this music video. It's Window Licker by Aphex Twin.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? The face that fucker makes?
Yeah.
That's what the face reminded me of. Like when he rolls the window down, he looks just like that. But anyway, you find out that like when Taniguchi was a child, he was bullied and he never fought back. But one day somebody like took something of his that he treasured and he beat the shit out of these kids. So like he's always been this kind of rage monster.
Very vengeful monster. This just reminds me a lot of animes though. Like that same kind of concept. Like they always refer back to the bullying when they were in grade school in most ages.
Right.
And then they go ballistic, like the whole thing with like Elf and Leah with Lucy, how they killed that dog in front of her and she just murdered the fuck out of those two kids.
Right. Well, we get to the climactic end of the film, which I know we're kind of going through these, but they're really simplistic. They let a lot of the action do the talking, just like the first one. So like you figure out that in a flashback because Yatsu and Taniguchi are fighting and Yatsu gets crushed and his head pops off, but his head like tendrils to Taniguchi and tries to morph with him, like when they're like both formed in these metal, disfigured bodies.
Right.
And you get a flashback sequence that's kind of fucked up. So basically, Taniguchi learns that his dad was trying to create the perfect human weapon and training the kids, which, plot twist, Yatsu is his brother. And then Kana is seeing all this happen on these, like this plethora of television sets just in front of her. And in another flashback part, they watch their dad fucking their mother, and he fucking kills her right in front of them. And the child, we presume it's Yatsu, just obliterates the both of them with his humongous body guns, and he's just like, fuck you, I'm killing you, and he just blasts them to shit. Just so fucking bloody.
It's just a whole new meaning to like these guns, like flexing your arms.
He's about to flex on the biggest hoe of them all.
His mom.
Yep. But what happens is Taniguchi loses his memory after this. And during this flashback, he kind of realizes the beauty in destruction. And then they merge. And it's like this giant pile of metal. And he's trying to get Kana to inject him with this stuff that's going to make him rust to death so he can kill Yatsu along with him. But she won't do it. So eventually they just merge with all the fucking gang members, and there's just like tendrils like shooting out into their foreheads, and it's a really cool visual, honestly.
And you see all their heads like popping out of the body too.
Yeah, and the movie has the weird kind of ending. Like in the first Tetsuo and the Iron Man, the salaryman and the metal fetishist actually morph together into this like little tank looking creation, and they just roll through the city. That kind of happens here too, because this giant machine just rolls through the highway through the city, and Kana is just holding on to the side of it like she's riding this giant like body tank. But the final shot of the movie is basically Kana, Taniguchi, and their son walking through the city, and it's just ruined. And she says something to the effect of like how peaceful the place is, and the movie just ends.
It's kind of like a grim take on how humanity is kind of so out of control that there needs to be more peace involved, and wiping out as much people as possible will do the trick, which sadistically, I know that's what it sounds like, but I believe it. It's almost like a Thanos thing. Like, there's just too much chaos with how much life there is that's consuming everything around it. So I guess the call for it is to just call thin the herd, basically.
Right.
Which, I mean, if that's the case with what the director was getting at, then good job. But if not, then, correct me. I don't know. But yeah, I kind of agree with that to a degree.
That's Tetsuo II, Body Hammer. Let's move on to Tetsuo the Bullet Man. Now, Tetsuo the Bullet Man was released in 2009. Again, it's a cyberpunk horror film, but this time they shot it in Japan, but it's shot in English. Now, this one, Cody and I noticed that, visually speaking, this movie kind of has more resemblance to the first movie. It's shot digitally, though.
Yeah, there's way more clarity in this one. Like, out of the three films, you go from raw, crude, grotesque like visuals, and then you have the upgraded version, which is slightly better, but not by much. And then this one is like pretty much like going to Blu-ray.
Yeah. We had to laugh, though, with the opening credits because Tetsuo the Bullet Man Group presents Tetsuo the Bullet Man.
Directed by Tetsuo the Bullet Man Group.
That's right. Yeah, Shinya Tsukamoto is directing this once again. Eric Bossack is the person that plays Anthony, who is an American that is married to a Japanese lady.
Who immediately, the first thing I thought of when I saw this fucker was a Japanese Henry Cavill. Just way skinnier.
A little bit. Now, Yatsu is back again. Same person. It's Shinya Tsukamoto again. He's just referred to as the guy, I think, in this movie is what he's called, the guy. Mm-hmm. Which I just called him metal fetish just because that's pretty much what he has been through the other two. So, but anyway, Anthony is like, you can tell, like, without getting into too much, because they don't have to get into too much to let you know that he seems to be some kind of like business, I guess a salaryman in a sense, again. But he's very stressed out at his job. His mom died. His dad's an alcoholic, which we find out because he visits him. His dad breaks a glass. When he goes to pick it up, he cuts his finger. Anthony does, but his blood is like smoking. And at that moment, you're just like, all right.
Wonder where this is leading.
No shit. We forgot to mention this movie has, like, I think, the same runtime or close to the same runtime as the original. So there's not a whole lot.
Right.
So Anthony gets on the phone and his son Tommy is like running in front of him and he's just like, hey, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. This car almost hits him and it just stops right in front of Anthony. And he just looks at it for a minute and then the car backs over Tommy real hard.
Like, what is up with the fucking toddler dynamite?
I swear to God, dude.
But yeah, we noticed
it's more like a toddler pancake at this fucking point, dude.
Very runny pancake.
Yeah.
That fucking blood too was bubbly and goopy and smoky.
Yeah.
And then Anthony was just getting all these visuals in his brain. One of these visuals that keeps popping up remind me of fucking the rabbit from Donnie Darko.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And it's weird because like that's when he has that real big freak out, and then we start getting those real fast edits and the frenetic kind of camera work and shit. Which I forgot to mention, the title card that happened in the second one and this one is the name Tetsuo just scrolls across the screen. But this one was really cool because whenever the Bullet Man part popped up, it was real like strobe lighty and just right in your face, spelling it out on the screen. It was really awesome.
Yeah, it was like intense, in your face, just this is what the movie is.
But I have to laugh because he, in this sequence, looks like he's being splashed with water. And the way it looks is he's just kind of imagining if this is what a bidet feels like, when in reality, it just looks like Triple H is spitting his water like during his ring entrance just all over him. And you're like, what if the bidet was just Triple H spitting water on your ass?
And at this point in the film, when we're making this joke, we're sitting there at every fucking scenario that we could possibly think of. It's like, it's just replaced with that want, that need, that desire to have a clean ass.
Yeah, because literally the next morning, he's just calmly eating breakfast and Yuriko, his wife, just comes in and berates him for sitting there not wanting to take revenge on the man that killed their son. And he's just kind of like, I was just thinking about how nice it would be to have a bidet in the house.
Yeah, you ruined that dream of mine, honey. I mean, come on.
You made me laugh because the scene where he just stares at the bottom corner of the floor.
No joke, guys. Like he was going to work and he stares at this fucking corner. It had like 2 white walls and a black floor. And for, I want to say it was like a good like 45 seconds he was doing that. And it was going back and forth and back and forth. It was just like him just imagining the day that he has the bidet right there.
In that exact
very
spot.
corner.
Yeah, in that exact fucking spot. Why isn't this movie called Tetsuo the Bidet Man?
It needs to be.
Yes, it does.
I mean, shit, I even referenced the one part whenever he's looking at a picture of his kid and it's just like, they should just put a fucking bidet in there. It's like, I really need my bidet.
It's like a fucking Polaroid that he snapped of a bidet in like the local store. It's like, this is the bidet I want.
Yeah. But no, his fucking wife is a pretentious cunt. Just says, no, our kid's more important. He died.
Throw your dreams of a bidet away.
But
throw the bidet away. But honey, a bidet a day keeps the proctologist away.
No, Anthony, I'm the only bidet you need.
I will clean your ass for you. Look at my mouth.
Make me squirt.
God, Jesus, this is all fucking derailed so fast. I love it.
I mean, there was that one part when they were sleeping in bed. I mean, they weren't sleeping. He gets up and looks over and she's like, you know what? I miss that feeling.
I used to be happy.
When I used to bidet you.
In reality, she's just talking about how, like, the feeling of having their son made her happy. But I just felt like a bidet was much better. Any fucking way. Like, she almost becomes catatonic at this stage, like, in all seriousness. She almost becomes catatonic, and she was like, sometimes you tell me that you feel like your mind and body don't belong to you. And she's had that strange feeling as well. And then, like, immediately it cuts to her walking down the stairs in a dress. She's like, I'm going to go find the killer. He's like, no, you're not.
She's going Paul Kersey on these fools. We're taking Tommy.
Well, he kind of knocks her down, and then he looks shocked at what he just did. He's like, no, you're going to get my bidet. You're not looking for our fucking son's killer. You're going to get my goddamn bidet.
Go to IKEA, purchase one with my credit card, and yes, I know it's about to be maxed out. I don't care. Get my bidet, bitch.
Spend the rest of the money. But pretty much the dude buries himself in work after this, right? And the job's calling him like, oh, we need this. It's like Office Space. We need those TPS reports.
Yep.
And I don't mean toilet paper.
If you can do that, that'd be great.
We don't need TP. You have a bidet.
Yeah.
Don't you? Don't you have a bidet? No, you didn't get one yet?
Oh, you're a peasant. You use toilet paper still. I forget. Shame on you. Or do you use that money that we give to you when you work? Oh, that's right. You're poor because we don't give you shit. But no, at this point, he's fucking losing his damn mind because every time he fucking gets a call from somebody, he's just like, hey, those reports, are you going to make copies of them?
Yeah, but I realize you're having a problem, Anthony, but can you please get those reports back to us on the Oh, okay. That's just fine. You can just bring them tomorrow. It's literally that. That's literally it. And then he gets a phone call because there's a dude at the door with a delivery. And he's like, oh, okay. So he opens the door. This delivery guy straight up shoots him in the shoulder.
It's not his bidet.
It's not his bidet, which I think is hilarious because the dude slowly follows Anthony up the stairs. And the way it looks is he's holding the gun against his back. And we were just making fun of it the whole time. He's just like, this is where I want my bidet. You have it, don't you?
Don't mind the blood. I know it's on the floor. You might slip, but just follow me upstairs real quick.
He turns around and he gets shot through his hand in the face.
Let's not forget this guy that shot him. He just looks so just done. He was just like, I gotta shoot another person today. My quota was met yesterday. Come on, man.
This is the fifth guy that's asked for a bidet. What the fuck? But anyway, so the metal fetishes enters, which is Yatsu again. And he looks at him and he's like, your son put much more of a fight up when I ran him over. And oh my God.
That was enough.
Yeah, because he goes to drive away. And then just like out of nowhere from wherever up at the top, Anthony jumps down and just all these guns start coming out of his like chest and his stomach.
Well, first of all, he like stops the car, picks the damn thing up, turns it about 90 degrees to the side and drops the damn thing. And then he just goes fucking ballistic.
Literally.
Fucking fetish man just sits there and he's smiling. Like, he's like, yes, I finally got it.
This is what I wanted.
Now come on me. But he lights that fucking... I mean, it's literally not a car. It's not even recognizable anymore. And at this point...
It looks like pieces of Kinects. You remember the Kinect sets?
Mm-hmm.
It looks just like that now.
Just full of holes and like, yeah, it's ruined. But the next part was all of the henchmen came in from the parking garage and saw Anthony just... I mean, exploding all over this car, and they just like, oh shit, we fucked up, guys.
We fucked up real bad.
We should have brought the bidet in the first place.
They just creep backwards out of sight.
It reminded me so much of that Kylo Ren meltdown when the fucking troopers walked in. They're like, nope.
Kylo run.
Dun 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 dun.
Right. Well, here's where the plot thickens. He winds up getting a call from the fetishist, and he gets told that his dad has a secret. It's in his email. We'll come to find out, after some digging, there's a part of this email where he sees a photograph of a bunch of scientists around this girl that has her arm looking like one of the arm guns from the second film. And he sees this vision of something saying check underground. Well, after a bicycle ride from hell, because it's pretty much the industrial fast, like, you know, metal clanging and shit, the music that we loved from the first one.
Yes.
He goes to his dad's and he finds like this hidden door in the floor, which leads him to this hallway with books and files and shit. Well, he figures out that his dad and mom worked together at this laboratory for the Tetsuo project that Japan and America have collaborated on. And he figured out that his mom, she would be like the perfect candidate body for this experiment. So they're building androids. And she tells him, like eventually you find out, she tells his dad that she wants to be an android and that she wants to be impregnated as an android so that she can give birth to a human-android hybrid child. And the reason she never body morphed is because she would be happy as long as she had a kid. Which coincidentally, Anthony finds her fucking corpse. Which it's an android, but still he finds his mother's corpse and like it's pristine. There's nothing wrong with it.
But at this point, Anthony's body is like transmorgified.
It's out of control, dude.
Yeah, like half of his face is just all metal, like alienistic looking shit. I mean, his hands are all like that, and he basically speaks with that like robotic tone to it, and it kind of reminded me of like a male version of Nebula.
A little bit, yeah. This is where that team of people enter the house, like obviously ordered by Yatsu to enter the house, and then they have orders to kill them on sight. That does not happen, but he just wrecks them.
Well, yeah, like one of the fucking guys was royally screwed up. He was just saying like, if you don't come out here, I'm going to kill her on the spot. And he's like, oh, you don't even care about your fucking wife? And he starts like berating him more and more. And you see the fucking floor explode open.
Dude, he pops out of that bitch like Hulk Hogan popped out of that limousine in No Holds Barred.
Mm-hmm. You know, this film gave me heavy alien vibes with the xenomorph too. The way that the body was like shaped originally, it was very kind of smooth to a degree. It wasn't that rough junkyard looking face like the original ones were.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I think the design throughout all of it is very Geiger influenced.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Shinya Tsukamoto has a lot of influences he pulled from American cinema, Japanese cinema, like everywhere.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he pretty much just wrecks shop with this little SWAT team, whatever the fuck you want to call
He
them.
swats them back.
Yeah. I mean, they light his ass up, but as soon as they even stop, like he shoots like parts of the bodies off these guys with his hand cannon, literally.
He doesn't even kill him. That's the fucked up part. He
Yeah.
shoots him where he's basically just dismembering him.
Yeah. And they're all like, retreat, retreat. It's like, how? You got like...
You got
parts
no
of your-
feet.
You lost your legs, Lieutenant Dan.
refeet.
But I want to talk about like, and this is really minor to a lot of people, and they're probably going to say, there's like, why does this matter to him? The shot when he finds the compartment door to the basement like slightly moved. Cinematography that they did with it was actually visually interesting to me, because what they did was it was over Anthony's right shoulder, and when he moved it to the left, it went over his left shoulder, like in one smooth sequence. And for some reason, the way that transitioned, it gave it more oomph to it. It gave it more of like a climax, I guess, to like he discovers like there's the secret that's going to be who he is, basically.
That's called visual storytelling, my friend.
Yeah. I mean, obviously this film does that, and the other two films clearly do that very well in their own fashions. But like that scene in particular was so different compared to the rest of the trilogy that I was just like, that's actually fascinating to me to watch.
That's good shit, though. And I mean, that's Shinya Tsukamoto for you.
Yeah.
Well, since none of them died, Yatsu fucking shows up and he kills them all. But then after a while, Anthony and Yuriko are having a moment because he's like, I don't trust myself to not kill you. Well, while she's trying to console him and peel the metal off of him, she gets a call from a man that says he was just let out of a closet in the house and that he's in the dining room and needs to tell them something. Well, it turns out it's Anthony's dad. And he pretty much tells Anthony everything about his mom being an android and all this shit. Well, he's bleeding out because he was shot. And it was Yatsu that shot him. And he dies. Well, later across town, Yatsu is sitting there like, ladies and gentlemen, let's party. He's about to kill himself, but he's like, no. He's like, no, I want Anthony to awaken to his destiny and show the world what it really is. Blood, guts, violence, the end of humanity. And at this point, Anthony's like, I'm going to kill this motherfucker. But Yuriko tells him that she's pregnant and, waited because she couldn't after all the trauma that's been happening. She didn't want to say anything. She doesn't want anybody killed anymore. She just wants to, live their life normally.
Well, we forget one part before all that happened too. When he was worried about killing his wife, he attempted to kill himself with his own hand cannon.
Yeah, well, he does, essentially.
He blows his fucking head like wide open, and then all you hear is just this like chuckle of like, I can't even kill my own damn self. And it's just like, for one, it's like, fuck, dude. Like, he actually goes with it and says, I can't do this, and tries to just end it all. But at the same time, like, his wife was just so pissed off at him. It's like, you would dare leave me alone by myself? Like, you're that fucking selfish?
Yeah, and like, she's hugging him and crying, and he's like sizzling like a motherfucking steak.
And then
just bleeding out.
And then it's just like, it gets weirdly sexual because like the next scene is them two next to each other and she turns really slow. And I'm just sitting there joking with myself like, that was the best sex ever.
And then she just turns to it again.
Yeah. Sizzle me, daddy.
Right. Let's go to the Western Sizzler.
That might be how she got pregnant so fast.
Shit, right.
His body juices.
Ugh. Well, Yatsu shows up in the basement with a gun and eventually has a gun to Yuriko's head and is pretty much telling Anthony to put this necklace on her. He says he's going to drag the rage out of him, and he hears that she's pregnant. Like, he puts his ear to her stomach and can hear the heartbeat. So he makes him put this necklace on her, and then he says it's a bomb, and he has to choose between two options, and he's got 60 seconds. One, he can kill the both of them, and he can get rid of the future monster that his child's going to become, and he can return to life as a normal person. Two, he can kill himself.
It's like, you're fucked either way.
Yeah, no shit. Or no, I'm sorry. He can kill his wife or he can kill Yatsu or he can kill his wife. Either, like you said though, either way.
Yeah, the man's fucked because you're going to create a child with your genetics or you're going to lose your wife.
Right.
But yeah.
This is like the climactic part of the film though.
Yeah, because Yatsu goes pretty much just running around this like metal, like factory looking place. And he's taunting Anthony the entire fucking time. And Anthony is, he's ripping the fuck out of this building left and right. And Yatsu's in the background, just like, 30 seconds. Better find me quickly. Like, he's literally like holding the fucking trigger button in his hand. And his wife is just like telling him like, no, he's not worth it. Don't kill him. Whatever.
Yeah, like that man is not your enemy. The enemy is in your mind. But what I thought was cool was there was kind of a throwback to the first film because he tells him, destroy the world with your love. And in the first movie, whenever they mesh together, well, different salaryman guy, but in the first movie, he's like, with our love, we can destroy the whole fucking world.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of that thing.
Right.
But he transforms into this giant mass, like huge, this big fucking like cannon thing on his body that looks like this giant hole of fire and molten shit.
Bruh, that was so fucking badass. Like, I have to just point that out. This thing, like, all you see in the background, because there was a point where he drops down, Yatsu's just sitting there like, what the fuck's going on?
What the fuck?
And then all of a sudden you see like Doc Ock tentacles start popping out of fucking smoke and shit. And he's just right there in front of his fucking face. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's like looking at a metallic predator face with a giant fucking core that's about to decimate everything in front of him. And this thing is terrifying. Like, the lighting that they did with that sequence was fucking great because it just adds to that damn like fear factor even more. And even Yatsu is just like, shit.
Yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much what happens here is Anthony has a vision of what would happen if he does kill Yatsu, and basically it's the city in ruins. It's kind of like how in Akira when the whole city just says fuck you and it just blows up. Well, basically he denies Yatsu of a death, and instead he consumes him into his body, which, he taunts him by being like, you don't want me inside you. You don't know what I'll do. And he's like, fuck you. And he just fucking swallows him up anyway.
Or did he know? Anthony was fully aware.
Yeah, he was.
I want Yatsu in my ass because my wife doesn't do it anymore.
God damn it. So we cut to 5 years later. He turns into his human form first.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much like Superman. He's just there, naked, covered in oil.
Yeah, and she's just like, oh, I guess you really do need that bidet, don't you?
Yeah. I'll buy you one, honey. It's okay.
Finally.
You're nasty.
So 5 years later, the child is born, and they've kind of returned to this normal life, but it's so fucked up because it's like, you pointed that out.
My biggest fucking problem about this film is the fact that this is happening. They just forgot about their dead son because it's replaced with another son called Elliot. Everything is just that happy now. Like, they have no remorse, no mourning, no memorial, or no nothing. It's just like, yeah, Tommy's gone, but we have Elliot now. And Elliot's a better child.
Right. I'm like,
oh my God, this feels so fucking wrong. It just is. And I'm demented as hell when it comes to humor, but like that's wrong.
Right. So Anthony he's getting ready for work and he's looking in the mirror, tying his tie, and they all three leave. But as he's looking in the mirror, he hears those words again. You don't know what I'll do to you. Well, the movie ends whenever he's walking in this group of like this gang. Looks like they're about to like intimidating or rob him or some bullshit. And he just doesn't allow his anger to get control of him. He just walks past and they're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because the one guy that was going to do something, he just like walked up to him and was like, oh.
Oh.
And the others were like hounding him about it in the background. And I was just like, man, this reminds me so much of fucking Death Wish.
A little bit where he's
like, I'm just waiting for Anthony to turn around and just be like, yeah.
No, he points at him, except that he would actually be able to shoot them with his finger guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Tetsuo the Bullet Man. I know which one I'm leaning towards, and I know which one I would pick. And I think it's probably for a really weird reason. I would go with the third one, only because I feel like even though Body Hammer was visually and aesthetically pleasing, and I thought it was very avant-garde, I mean, all these kind of fall into that realm, but the second one was more art looking. I feel like the story of the second one kind of got in the way. Barely. I feel like with a quicker running time and less talk, more visual cue and more storytelling that way, I thought the Bullet Man kind of got the point across a little more, and it reminded me more of the first one than the second one did. So that, just me, that's just me. I would go with the third one.
See, we kind of have some polarizing opinions here, but not many. Primarily, neither one of these two hold a flame to the first one for me.
No, they really don't.
At all. Like, the first one was so unique. It was so extraordinary when it comes to visual storytelling. Because one, you didn't get any dialogue and it didn't fucking need it. And that's how amazing that film was. So, to me, neither one of these films are going to hold a fucking candle to this one, but that's beside the point. I'll kind of give my complaints on both of them, and then I'll give my pros to both of them, and then I'll give my verdict. My complaints with the second one, it was just kind of missing a few things that kind of get me to grasp it, I guess. It went by a little too quickly for my taste, even though, like, compared to the first one, it was just like, it was all quick, but you got the point. The third one, the very beginning just felt way too off when it is compared to what came before it. It felt more Americanized versus the rest of the film.
Right.
And then obviously that ending with, like, they just suddenly forgot that Tommy died and now Elliot's their kid, and it's like, fucking hell. But other than that, what I liked about the second one was it kept visually the same aspect as the first one, minus like the color, which I think that was like the weirdest thing about my perception of it. As the second one popped up, I was like, oh, it's in color. And I was like, it's like, ugh, but I got over it real fast. The third one was too clean, but again, I got over it. But I love the body horror in the second one. I love the still keeps that craziness to it. The third one, to me, I think what really set me going was just that very slow descent into madness that made him this. I mean, that fucking last transformation of his was fucking epic to me. Between the two of them, that one was like pristine. And I think between those two films, I have to go with the third one just because, one, it did deliver story better. It did give you more relatability, I guess, to the characters, especially with the main character, which I know is kind of contradicting comparing, to the first one, because it's like the guy really didn't do anything. He just got involved in some shit and just became this creature. But the third one it gave you more purpose as to, what was going on. I think I'm way more biased with this one because I can't get over that transformation, dude.
Yeah, it was really good.
Like, it just made the Iron Man like entity more horrific and daunting and just like world ending to me. And I was like, man, I was blown away by that shit. And then him fucking going ballistic on everybody, just, yeah.
Right.
Another thing too that I was really disappointed with was the first one had that stop motion progression that I really fucking liked. Neither one of these two did it that much or at all. So I think that was kind of like a thing for me. But I think he was trying something different with each one.
Gotta appreciate that. It almost feels like an evolution with each one.
Right.
The third one for me, I mean, all these movies really, it's practical effects. Like, it's fucking proof positive that practical effects will always and forever, in my opinion, probably both of our opinions, outdo CGI.
Mm-hmm.
When it can be done. But yeah, I think the third one takes it this week. Visit supermediabrospodcast.com to listen to all past, present, and future episodes. We have new merch in our merch store. Go buy something. It doesn't matter. Buy something. Anything.
Has anybody bought anything?
I bought a hoodie.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count. That's not the point. I demanded all of you people out there the last few episodes, y'all are buying shit. I will make you buy shit.
He will make you.
I will turn into the fucking Iron Man myself.
He will tendril to your brain and he will just sit there the whole time until you click buy.
Think about that for a second. I will go Tetsuo on y'all's ass. You're going to make me so angry. I'm going to go off on y'all.
That's metal as fuck.
So, to avoid the world-ending madness that is me, go buy shit. Or else you're going to get a fucking power cord to the face.
Check out all the other shows on the OddPods Media Network. Subscribe to us on any podcast platform that you listen to. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. It helps. All those things.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm done.
I'm so done. I'm sizzling.
Are you sizzling?
Mhm.
Are you well done?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm Anthony sizzling. Like,
Tony Sizzler. Yeah. Yeah, the sleepiness is taking over. Let's get the fuck out of here.
the truth is, I'm Anthony the Iron Man.
Tony, I am Iron Man.
Yeah.
That was episode 170. Cult Cinema Showdown 72. Tetsuo II Body Hammer versus Tetsuo the Bullet Man. Until next week, I've been Midnight Agent Raw.
And I'm Okami.
Shades on.
Shots fired.